Welcome to 5-Minute Dungeon. Each player chooses a hero, takes their hero mat and the matching colored deck of cards. Shuffle your deck, put it face down on the draw pile space, and draw a starting hand based on the number of players. In a 2-player game, you'll each need to shuffle in a second hero's deck with yours to have enough cards. Place one of the boss mats in the center of the table and build the dungeon by counting out a number of door cards equal to the number indicated on the boss mat, adding 2 challenge cards for each player in the game, shuffling the whole stack together and placing it on the boss mat, covering the symbols. Set a 5-minute timer or use the official 5-Minute Dungeon app, complete with voiceover and theme music. Turn over the first card of the dungeon, hit start, and get dungeoning. Everyone plays simultaneously in this co-op game, and you have 5 minutes to clear the dungeon before you all lose. When you reveal a card with a star icon on it, that indicates an event. Immediately do whatever the event says, then sweep the card away and flip the next card. Most dungeon cards will have resource symbols like these. When you flip a card like this, it will have to be defeated before you can sweep it away and move on. There are 3 ways to defeat such cards. First, you can collectively play resource cards from your hands until you match all the symbols on the card. Second, you can play an action card that defeats that type of dungeon card. Or third, you can use your hero's special ability by discarding 3 cards from your hand to your discard pile, announcing your ability to the table, and performing the action described on your hero mat. It's important to note that when you play a card, you play it to the center of the table. Whenever the dungeon card you're facing is defeated, all the cards in the center are swept to the side. You do not discard cards you've played. Your discard pile is only used when a card or ability specifically tells you to discard cards. And if you play a card to the center of the table, you can't take it back, even if it's not needed to defeat the dungeon card. Whenever you play or discard a card, draw back up to your hand size limit. If you play a card that allows you to draw cards, draw those cards before refilling to your hand size, if needed. Once a dungeon card is defeated, turn over a new card to keep moving through the dungeon until you've defeated the boss. But don't get too cocky, because there are 6 more dungeons with their own bosses you'll need to clear before you actually win the game. If you ever run out of cards in your draw pile, you'll have to wait until another player plays a card that can help you get more. If all players run out of cards, or time runs out before the dungeon is cleared, you lose. And that's the gist of how to play 5-Minute Dungeon. But we're also going to cover the expansion, Curses, Foiled Again. This expansion adds some new event cards, action cards, and 2 new heroes to allow a group of up to 6 players to conquer the dungeons together. It also adds 5 boss-specific boss cards for each boss that replace 5 of the basic door cards during setup. And it introduces 2 new mechanics. The first is artifacts, which are helpful tools the heroes who don't accompany you on your dungeon crawl send along to lend a hand. After you've all chosen your heroes, send all the artifacts that match your heroes back to the box. Leave the artifacts for the heroes you're not using face up on the table where everyone can reach them. During the game, you can use each artifact once by doing what it says on the card and flipping it face down. The second new mechanic is Curses. These are dungeon cards that are similar to events, but instead of being a one-and-done effect, they remain active throughout the rest of the dungeon, unless the heroes can find a way to clear them. When you encounter a curse, set it aside face up to remind everyone that it's active. And yes, it is possible for more than one curse to be active at the same time. If you ever make the mistake of breaking a curse rule by performing a forbidden action, you must immediately throw your entire hand of cards into the center of the table without playing them, and undo the forbidden action if possible. And that's how you play 5-Minute Dungeon, Curses Foiled Again.
Hey there, my name's Kyle McCarlin. I'm a voice actor by trade. You may have heard me as one of these guys. But I'm here to talk to you now about one of my favorite hobbies, board games. I love them. If you like board games, you should check out The Board and Barrel every Sunday night at 7:30 Pacific on twitch.tv/Kyle McCarlin, where me and my buddies play board games. We also give you guys a chance to help us or hurt us, depending on how you feel, with our Buff and Nerf house rules. And we have virtual bingo cards you can fill out while you're watching the show. It's a good time. Hope to see you there.